Hello, my dear friend. Welcome. I am so happy you are here with me today. My name is Anna, and this is VUS Learning English Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about something very important. We are going to talk about our memory. Sometimes our memory feels a little foggy. It feels a little weak. We will learn why this happens. And we will learn a very simple, very kind way to make it better. I am so thankful you are spending your time with me today. Your time is a gift. Thank you for sharing it. If you enjoy our time together, please think about giving this video a like. When you press the like button, you help our podcast grow. It helps other English learners just like you find our little community. It is a small click for you, but it is a big help for us. Thank you, my friend. I always love to know where you are listening from. Are you in a busy city or a quiet town? Are you in Somalia or Japan? Maybe you are in India or Mexico. Please tell me in the comments. It makes me so happy to see where our friends are around the world. Okay, are you ready? Let's begin. Let's talk about our wonderful brains. Does this sound like you? You walk into a room in your house. You stand there and you think, why did I come here? You have no idea. Or maybe this. You have your keys in your hand. You put them down somewhere. 5 seconds pass. And then the keys are gone. They have vanished. Where did they go? It feels like a little mystery. Or how about this? You are telling a great story to a friend. You need to say a person's name, but the name is gone. It just disappears from your mind. You can almost feel it, but you cannot say it. And one more. You are reading a book. You read a whole page. You get to the bottom of the page, and you realize something. You did not understand anything, not one word. Your eyes moved, but your mind was somewhere else. Do these stories feel familiar? Do they happen to you? If they do, please know you are not alone. These small moments of forgetting are very, very common. For many of us, they happen every day. Sometimes they happen every hour, and they can feel very frustrating. It can feel like your brain is a bucket, but this bucket has a small hole in it. You pour new things into the bucket. You pour in names, ideas, and information, but it feels like it all just leaks out. It feels like nothing stays inside. When this happens, what do you think? You might think, oh, I am just getting older. Or you might think, I am too stressed right now. Sometimes you might even start to worry. You might think something is wrong with your brain. You might ask yourself a quiet question. Is my memory just going away? This feeling can be a little scary. It can make you feel unsure. It can make you feel like you are not in control. But I want to tell you something very important. Are you listening? What if I told you that this is not about getting older? What if I told you it is not a scary disease? What if I told you it is not something that has to happen? For most of us, for 99% of us who feel this mental fog, the reason is something else. It all comes down to one simple mistake. It is a mistake that has become normal in our lives today. It is so normal that we do not even see it. We do not even know we are making it. This is not about a special or rare problem. It is about a habit that is so common. It is like the default setting for our brains. It is the way we live in the 21st century. And this habit is quietly, slowly hurting our ability to make memories. It is also hurting our ability to find our memories later. So today, let's pull back the curtain. Let's look at this one big mistake together. We will learn about the science. We will understand why this habit is so bad for our memory. The science is fascinating. It is also a little bit scary. But do not worry. I am here with you. And the most important part is this. I will give you a simple way to fix it. It is a powerful way. And it is supported by science. So please stay with me. By the end of our time together, you will understand, you will know why your memory feels weak, and you will have the key. You will have the tool to get your focus back. You will get your mind back. It is a journey of 1,000 miles, and it starts with one small step. Let's take that first step together. Now, before we talk about the real reason, let's talk about the things we think are the problem. These are the usual suspects. When you go online and search for how to improve memory, you always see the same 3 answers. What are they? They are sleep, diet, and exercise. And I want to be very clear. These 3 things are very, very important. They are the foundation for a healthy brain. They are like the strong legs of a table. Without them, the table will fall. Let's talk about each one for a moment. First, let's talk about sleep. You might think that sleep is just your brain turning off for 8 hours. Like a light switch. Off, but that is not true. Sleep is actually one of the busiest times for your brain. It is very active. When you are sleeping, your brain is like a team of little helpers working at night. This night team is very organized and very diligent. What does this team do? It does 2 very important jobs. First, it cleans your brain. It clears away all the waste products that build up during the day. It is like taking out the trash. This keeps your brain clean and healthy. The second job is organizing information. During the day, you learn and experience so many things. These new things go into a small temporary place in your brain. This is your short-term memory. It is fragile, like a piece of paper in your hand. During deep sleep, your brain's night crew gets to work. They look at all the papers from the day. They decide which ones are important. They replay the day's events. And they move the important information. They move it from your fragile short-term memory to the big, strong library of your mind. This library is your long-term memory. The information is safe there. But what happens if you do not get enough good sleep? That little night crew gets very tired. They do not have enough time to do their job well. Information gets lost. Some papers get put in the wrong place. And some just get thrown away by mistake. This is why just one night of bad sleep can make you feel so foggy. Your brain did not have time to clean and organize. So, yes, sleep is so important. 7 to 9 hours is what most adults need. Next, let's talk about exercise. We usually think exercise is for our bodies, for our muscles, our heart, our lungs. And that is true. But exercise is also like a magic gift for your brain. When you move your body, your heart beats faster. This sends more blood to your brain. This blood is full of wonderful things. It carries fresh oxygen and nutrients. Your brain loves this. It is like giving a thirsty plant a drink of water. Exercise also does something else amazing. It tells your brain to release a special protein. This protein is called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. That is a very long name. Let's call it by its initials. BDNF. BDNF. Think of BDNF as plant food for your brain cells. It is like Miracle-Gro for your mind. This special protein helps your brain in two ways. First, it helps new brain cells to grow. This is called neurogenesis. Second, it makes the connections between your brain cells stronger. These connections are the physical basis of learning and memory. Every time you learn something new, you are building a new connection. So that walk you take every day, it is not just good for your heart. It is literally helping you build a stronger, better brain. It is a wonderful gift to give yourself. And the third usual suspect is diet, what you eat. Your brain is like a very powerful engine, a high-performance engine, and it needs premium fuel to run well. It cannot run on bad fuel. Good food helps your brain work its best. For example, foods with omega-3 fatty acids are very good. You find these in fatty fish, like salmon, and in walnuts and flax seeds. Omega-3s are like building blocks for your brain. They help build and repair your brain cells. Also, antioxidants are wonderful for your brain. You find antioxidants in colorful fruits and vegetables, like blueberries, strawberries, and leafy green vegetables like spinach. Antioxidants protect your brain from damage. They are like little bodyguards for your brain cells. On the other side, a diet with a lot of sugar and processed foods can hurt your brain. It can cause something called inflammation. Inflammation is not good for the parts of your brain that support memory. Your brain is very small. It is only about 2% of your body's weight, but it is very hungry. It uses 20% of all the energy you get from food. So what you feed it really, really matters. So let's review. Sleep is for cleaning and organizing. Exercise is for building and strengthening. And diet is for fueling and protecting. Yes, you should absolutely try to sleep 7 to 9 hours. You should move your body in a way that feels good. And you should eat good, healthy food. These things are not negotiable. They are the foundation. But here's the big question. Here is the mystery. Millions and millions of people do all of these things. They get their 8 hours of sleep. They go to the gym or go for a run. They eat their salads and their fish. They are checking all the right boxes, and they still feel forgetful. They still lose their keys. They still forget names. They still feel like their mind is slipping away. The problem is not going away. Why? Why is this happening? It is because sleep, diet, and exercise are about your brain's hardware. They keep the physical machine, the computer, in good shape. They maintain the body of the brain. But the big mistake we are talking about today is not about the hardware. It is about the software. It is about the operating system we run on that hardware. It is about how we use our brain all day, every day. And that is where the real problem is hiding. That is the secret we are going to uncover. Let's talk about it now. Are you ready to hear the real problem? The single biggest mistake that is hurting your memory? It is this. living in a constant state of divided attention and a total lack of mental quiet. Let me say that again. The problem is divided attention and no mental quiet. It is not a pill you need to take. It is not a special food you are missing. It is the modern way of life. It is a life of nonstop information, endless distraction, and zero real downtime for your brain. Think about your day. Just for a moment, what is a normal day like for you? You wake up in the morning. What is the very first thing you do? For many people, the first thing is to grab their phone. Instantly, your brain is flooded. A flood of notifications comes in. Emails from work, messages from friends, news headlines from around the world. Your brain is working hard before you're even fully awake. Then you go to make your morning coffee or tea. What are you doing while you wait? Maybe you have a podcast playing in your ear, or you're listening to the news on the radio. Your brain is processing sound and information. Then you drive to work or take the bus or train. The radio is on, or another podcast, or you are scrolling through your phone. There is always an input. You get to your desk at work. You open your computer. How many tabs are open in your web browser? 5? 10? 20? You are trying to do your main job, but at the same time, emails are popping up. Chat messages are making a sound. Your phone is buzzing on the desk. You are trying to do many things at once. You take a break for lunch. Do you just sit and eat? Or do you scroll through social media while you eat? Looking at photos, reading updates, your brain is still processing. You go home at the end of the day, another podcast for the commute. In the evening, you want to relax. So you watch a show on television. But while you watch the show, what is in your hand? Your phone or a tablet. You are scrolling and watching at the same time. 2 screens, 2 inputs. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, your brain is busy. It is always taking something in. There is no quiet. There is no break. There is no moment for your brain to just be, to just exist without new information. We have a name for this. We call it multitasking. And we sometimes feel proud of it. We wear it like a badge of honor. I am a great multitasker. We think we are being fast and efficient. But what are we really doing? We are shattering our attention. We are breaking it into 1,000 tiny pieces. We are creating a mental world, an environment inside our heads, where it is almost impossible for a strong memory to form. It is like trying to build a sandcastle while the waves are crashing on it. Our brains were not made for this. For thousands and thousands of years, the human brain lived in a very different world. It was a world with long times of quiet. There were times of walking in nature, times of waiting for the rain to stop, times of just sitting and thinking. Those moments were not empty. They were not wasted time. They were essential. They were necessary. Those quiet moments were when the brain did its most important work. It was when it organized memories. It was when it connected new ideas to old ones. It was when it solved difficult problems. We have taken those quiet moments away. We have systematically, piece by piece, replaced them. We swapped boredom for browsers. We traded silence for streams of audio and video. This is more than just a bad habit. It is a huge change in how we live our daily lives. And it is causing a crisis for our minds. A cognitive crisis. Think of your brain like a computer. What happens when you have too many programs running at the same time? The computer slows down, right? It starts to glitch. Things don't work properly. And if you open even more programs, what happens? Eventually it crashes. The screen freezes. That feeling of brain fog, that feeling of forgetfulness, that is your brain crashing. It is not broken. It is not old or failing. It is just overloaded. It has too much to do. It has no time to rest and process. To understand why this is so bad for your memory, we need to look at how a memory is made. It is a beautiful 3-step process. The 3 steps are encoding, storage, and retrieval. That sounds complicated, but it is simple. Encoding is like creating a file. Storage is like saving it to a folder. Retrieval is like finding and opening the file later. This mistake of divided attention, of constant noise, it attacks the very first step. And the first step is the most important one. It is the step called encoding. Let's look at this more closely. First, let's talk about encoding. Imagine it is the save button for your brain. Think about saving a document on your computer. First, information comes into your brain. It comes through your eyes, your ears, your sense of touch. This is like having a new document open on your computer screen. The information is there. It is active, but it is also fragile. This is your working memory. What happens if someone distracts you? Or if the power goes out? If you close the program without hitting save, that document is gone. It is gone forever. To keep the information, you must hit the save button. That is encoding. Encoding is the process of changing that fragile, temporary information into a stable, long-term memory. This process actually physically changes your brain. It creates new connections between your brain cells, your neurons. It makes existing connections stronger. So, what is the one thing you absolutely need for encoding to work? What is the one ingredient you must have? It is attention. Focused attention. Paying attention to one thing. Focused attention is the save button for your brain. When you do not pay attention, the encoding process is very weak, or it does not happen at all. The information never gets saved to your long-term hard drive. It never makes it to the library. This is exactly what happens when you cannot find your keys. Think about it. When you put your keys down, what were you thinking about? Maybe you were thinking about what to make for dinner. Or you were listening to a message on your phone. Your body performed the action. Your hand put the keys on the table. But your brain never got the command to encode that information. It never got the command to save the location of the keys. So later, when you go to look for that memory, there is nothing there to find. The file was never created. The memory does not exist. So if focused attention is the key to making memories, then divided attention is the enemy. What we like to call multitasking is really a myth. Our brains cannot actually focus on 2 difficult things at the exact same time. It is impossible. Instead, your brain does something called rapid task switching. It jumps back and forth from task A to task B, back to task A, back to task B. It does this very, very fast. So fast that you think you are doing both at once, but you are not. And this switching has a cost. Every time your brain jumps from one task to another, there is a small price to pay. You lose a little bit of time, and you lose a little bit of accuracy. You are more likely to make a mistake. Imagine you are trying to have a very deep, important conversation with a friend. But at the same time, someone is flashing a bright strobe light in your eyes. On, off, on, off. How good would that conversation be? Not very good. It would be very difficult to focus. That is what task switching does to your brain. Scientists can see this happening. They use brain scans to look at the brain's activity. When a person's attention is divided, the activity in a special part of the brain goes down. This part is called the hippocampus. The hippocampus is so important for forming new memories. When you are multitasking, you are tying the hands of your brain's memory maker. You are telling it not to save the information. Over time, this is not just a temporary problem. This habit of distraction can cause long-term changes. Some scientific research shows that people who do a lot of multitasking may have less brain matter in a part of the brain that is very important for focus and for controlling emotions. So by always practicing distraction, you are literally training your brain to be worse at paying attention. And that means you are training it to be worse at remembering. Now let's talk about something that is very misunderstood. Let's talk about what your brain does when you are doing nothing. What happens when you are just sitting quietly, or looking out a window, or waiting in a line? You might think your brain is off. You might think it is resting, but it is not. In fact, when you're quiet and not focused on the outside world, a very important brain network becomes active. This network is called the default mode network, or the DMN. The DMN is your brain's inward-looking network. It's the part of your brain that you use for daydreaming. When the DMN is active, your brain is doing amazing things. It is consolidating memories, making them stronger. It is connecting new ideas to old ideas. It is thinking about yourself and about your future. You know, when you suddenly have a great idea in the shower, that is your default mode network at work. This network works together with the hippocampus during these quiet times. It replays new memories to strengthen them, to lock them into place. This is how learning becomes permanent. But here's the problem in our modern lives. Our lifestyle of constant input, constant stimulation, our phones, our podcasts, our multitasking, it prevents the DMN from ever turning on. When you fill every single empty second of your day with stimulation, you are robbing your brain of this essential quiet time. You are not giving it a chance to process everything it has learned. It is like a big traffic jam of information in your head. Nothing can move. And this leads to that feeling of being overwhelmed and forgetful. Your brain is just too full of unprocessed things. There is one more piece to this puzzle. It is the chemical problem. And that chemical is stress. A brain that is always overloaded is a stressed brain. It is in a state of chronic, low-level stress. This triggers your body to release stress hormones. The most famous one is called cortisol. In small, short bursts, cortisol can actually be helpful. It can help you remember very emotional or scary events. But when your cortisol levels are high all the time, as they are when you are constantly distracted and overloaded, cortisol becomes toxic to the brain. It is especially damaging to the hippocampus. That is the part we need for making memories. High levels of cortisol can actually damage and kill brain cells in the hippocampus. It can even make the hippocampus smaller in size, and it makes it much harder to form new memories. So this creates a very bad cycle, a vicious circle. It goes like this. Doing too many things at once causes stress. Stress releases cortisol. Cortisol damages the memory part of your brain, the hippocampus. A damaged hippocampus makes it even harder to focus. And when it's hard to focus, you feel even more stressed. And the cycle continues. You are literally stressing your memory to death. Okay, let's take a deep breath together. That was a lot of information. And it might sound a little bleak. Our brains are drowning in noise. Our attention is broken into tiny pieces. Our stress is damaging our memory center. It can feel like a big, impossible problem. But it is not. The solution is not complicated. In fact, the solution is beautifully simple. It is a little radical in our busy world. But it is something you can start doing right now. Today, the solution is this: the practice of intentionally creating moments of mental silence. It is about giving your brain the gift of quiet. This is not about needing to meditate for an hour every day. That is wonderful if you can do it, but that is not what I mean. This is about reclaiming the small, empty spaces in your day. The little moments that we have been filling up with noise without even thinking. It is about choosing stillness, choosing quiet, in a world that is always screaming for your attention. Let's start with the foundation, the first, most important step. I call it the 10-minute mindful break. This is your daily appointment with silence. It is just for you and your brain. Here's how you do it. It is very easy. First, you schedule it, just like a doctor's appointment. Put it in your calendar. Maybe you do it first thing in the morning before you touch your phone. This is a wonderful way to start the day. Or maybe you do it on your lunch break before you eat. The most important thing is to do it consistently every day. Second, during these 10 minutes, there are no screens, no inputs. Put your phone away. Put it in another room if you need to. Turn off the computer and the television. No podcasts, no music, no books. The goal is simple. Cut off the fire hose of information, just for 10 minutes. Now, third, just be. Find a comfortable place to sit, a chair, the floor, your bed, and just sit there. You do not have to clear your mind. That is a very difficult thing to do. Instead, just let your mind do whatever it wants to do. Your thoughts will wander. They will jump around. And that is perfectly okay. That is your default mode network finally getting a chance to work. It is sorting through your thoughts. It is making connections. Let it do its job. Fourth, if your mind feels too busy and scattered, you can give it an anchor. An anchor helps you stay in the present moment. You can gently focus on the feeling of your breath. Just notice the air coming in and going out. Or you can just listen. Listen to the quiet sounds around you, the sound of the refrigerator, a bird outside your window, a car driving by. Just listen without judgment. The first few times you do this, it will feel strange. It might even feel difficult. You will feel a very strong pull to grab your phone. You will think, I should be doing something. That feeling is a withdrawal symptom. It shows how addicted we are to distraction. But please stick with it. Be patient with yourself. After a few days of your 10-minute break, you will start to notice a change. You will feel a little calmer, a little more centered, a little more clear, and amazing things are happening in your brain. Studies have shown that even short periods of silence can help new cells grow in the hippocampus. Silence is not empty. It is restorative. It is healing. Once you have your 10-minute break every day, you can move to the next level. You can start to find other little pockets of quiet in your day. Think of them as microdoses of silence. Small, powerful moments. Here's a big one. The input-free commute. When you are driving or walking or on the train, try turning off the podcast or the radio just for one trip. Just drive, just walk, just ride in silence, look out the window. Let your mind wander. Let it process the day so far or think about the day ahead. This is prime time for your DMN to work. We have given up this precious time for entertainment. Let's reclaim it. Let's take it back. Here's another one. The phone-free meal. Can you try to eat just one meal a day without a screen? No television, no phone, no tablet. Just you and your food. Pay attention to your food. What does it taste like? What does it smell like? Just think your own thoughts, or think nothing at all. Another small act of quiet rebellion. Wait without a device. The next time you are waiting in a line, at the grocery store, at the bank, at the coffee shop, what is the first thing you want to do? Pull out your phone, right? Resist that urge just for a few minutes. Put your phone in your pocket and just wait. Look around you. Notice the people. Notice the colors and shapes. Let your mind be idle. Let it rest. And one more, the silent walk. Go for a short walk, maybe just for 5 or 10 minutes, and leave your headphones at home. Just walk. Listen to the sounds of your neighborhood, the sound of your feet on the pavement, the wind in the trees, children laughing. Each of these small acts is a victory. It is an act of rebellion against the culture of constant distraction. When you add them all together, they create a big, positive change in your brain. The other half of the solution is to change how you work and how you learn. The antidote, the medicine for multitasking, is monotasking. Monotasking means doing one thing at a time, giving your full, undivided attention to one single task. It might sound slower, but it is actually much more effective. Research shows that multitasking can reduce your productivity by up to 40%. When you monotask, you do better work and you do it faster. How can you practice monotasking? One great method is called time blocking. You look at your day and you create focused blocks of time. Maybe 45 or 50 minutes. During that block of time, you work on one thing only. Close all the other tabs on your computer. Turn off the notifications on your phone and computer. If you can, put your phone in a different room. Give that one task the gift of your full attention. Another wonderful tool is called the Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro is the Italian word for tomato. The creator of this technique used a kitchen timer that was shaped like a tomato. It is very simple. You work with intense focus on one task for 25 minutes. Then you take a real 5-minute break. A real break means you stand up, you stretch, you look out the window, you get a glass of water. You do not just switch to checking your email or social media. That is not a break. After your 5-minute break, you do another 25 minutes of focused work. This technique respects your brain's natural rhythm of focus and rest. A final tip for monotasking is to batch your distractions. Instead of letting emails and text messages interrupt you all day long, you decide when you will look at them. You schedule a few times during the day to check your messages, maybe at 10 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 4 in the evening. This puts you back in control. You are telling your distractions when they are allowed to have your attention. When you monotask, you are sending a clear message to your hippocampus. You are saying, "This is important. Pay attention. Save this." You will discover 2 things. First, the quality of your work will be much better. Second, you will actually remember what you did with much more clarity. The memory file will be saved, strong and clear. My dear friend, we started our conversation today by talking about that frustrating feeling, the feeling of a failing memory, the worry that our mind is getting weaker. We have been told that the problem is just getting older, or that it is just stress. But now we know the truth. For most of us, the real problem is hidden in plain sight. It is the constant flood of information. It is the endless shattering of our attention. It is the way we have starved our brains of silence. But please remember this. Your brain is not broken. It is a beautiful, powerful, and resilient thing. It is just overloaded. It is tired. And you have the power to fix it. You have the power to heal it. The solution is a return to simplicity. It is the radical, wonderful act of putting down your phone and being quiet. It is the gentle discipline of doing one thing at a time. These quiet moments are not empty. They are not wasted time. They are, in fact, the most productive moments of your day. They are when your brain heals itself. They are when your brain connects ideas and creates insights. They are when your brain cements your memories, making them strong and lasting. Silence is not the absence of something. It is not a void. Silence is the presence of everything your mind needs to feel good. It is the presence of clarity, peace, and creativity. The journey to a better memory does not start tomorrow. It does not require a special pill or an expensive program. It starts right now. It starts with a single, small, intentional moment of quiet. You are the guardian of your mind. You are the gatekeeper. By choosing to reclaim these moments of silence and focus, you are doing more than just improving your memory. You are reclaiming your life. You are finding your clarity again. You are finding your creativity again. You are finding your sanity in a noisy world. So here's my gentle challenge to you today. Can you find just 10 minutes? Just 10 minutes for yourself. Turn everything off, find a quiet place to sit, and just let your brain breathe. Let it be free from new information. It will be the most powerful, most loving step you take to fix your memory. And it will be a beautiful gift to your future self. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It was a joy to share this time with you. Remember, learning a new language and learning new habits takes time. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Every small step is a victory. You are doing a wonderful job. Keep going. If this was helpful for you, please feel free to leave a comment below. And if you have not already, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us continue to create these lessons for you. Thank you again, my wonderful friend. See you next time.